Number 2, criticism and blame. If you've got your finger out there criticizing and blaming the world, I'll tell you what, this stifles more intimacy in relationships. Looking for the bad, the wrong, instead of the good. Criticizing and blame is the thing that separates people more than anything else. So when you feel like you're criticizing and blaming, what's for me to know? How can I move this situation up to a new level? That's our job. That's living from the genius zone. How can I bring this energy up and be in the flow of the law of good and trust the invisible? A third thing, and boy, am I guilty of this. So, deflection. When people tell you you do something wonderful, oh my gosh, that was really good. Oh, no, that wasn't really me. No. You can be playing golf. Great shot. Oh, no, I missed it. It wasn't quite the swing I wanted. Or you did a great job in your work, in your whatever it is, and you go, no, I really didn't do it. What are we doing? We're deflecting that energy of goodness. So bring it on. I mean, to all of us, just bring it on. Bring on the love. Bring on the appreciation. Build that confidence. Build the backbone to accept it. We are made from the goodness of the world. We are good. I'm good. Are you? Yes, of course. So deflection, that'll get it. And there's a few more tests here. I don't quite remember what they are, but that's all right. Did I give you enough? Okay. Oh, here's one that'll do it all the way. And this happens a lot of times. And people get very successful. And they go home and start squabbling and arguing with their families. Because it'll bring down immediately that flood of goodness. See, when we're in the flood of goodness, we keep going and growing. But if we start arguing and complaining and deflecting and all of these things, or the other one is out of alignment with our integrity, if we find we start choking back our truth, not really speaking for what we want, asking for what we want, telling our truth, another crimp in the hose. So my request for us today is to be in alignment with our good. Are you ready? Yes. To set the focus on our genius. So I'm going to ask you to close your eyes for just a moment. Because some of us, aren't quite sure what our zone of genius is. How do we get there? What is it? We have to know where we're going in order to scan and adjust our lives to make sure we're in our alignment with our genius, our good, our best. So I'm going to ask you right now, and this is just brief. This is a practice that I would truly suggest you bring to your meditation and your quiet time regularly, every day. What is God's highest intention for my life right now? In this moment. What is God's highest intention of my life, for my life, right now? Knowing without question that you have everything you need. Everything. As we plug into that intuitive voice. Now, if you hear something right now beautiful, if not, simply create the space. Be willing to ask the question, what is God's highest intention for my life right now? And do I have any crimp in the flow of my good? Is there any crimp in the flow of my good? And just know right now, I am willing, and speak this to yourself, I am willing to open to the flow of God's abundant love, good, success, abundance, creativity right now. And just know, as you open to this in this moment, that the universe will attract whatever you need for your growth. Our thoughts are like self-addressed stamped envelopes in spirit. They go out there. They're delivered and they come back to us. So as we set that intention, and now in this place, right before we open, I invite you to open your eyes. I'm just going to ask you right now to see a beautiful target in front of you, in your mind's eye. This is the target that is your genius zone. This is where you plug into your unique gift you have for this world. It could be teaching, it could be art, it could be compassion, it could be healing, it could be love, it could be math, it could be science, it could be language, it could be writing, whatever it is, plugging into that unique genius zone for yourself. And just know that as you keep your eye on the target, anytime you miss the mark, scan and adjust. So just let go right in this moment of any thoughts of failure, any regrets from not missing the mark before, letting go of anything that you're holding on to that keeps you from being in the alignment of good and love and joy. And I'm going to ask you just to come back and open your eyes. It's time for us to integrate. And how perfect it is this Father's Day. We've heard so much about the feminine energy of the intuition, the feminine energy of love and compassion. We've heard so much about that. And here on Father's Day, it's time for us to know we are here to take action, to put wings and feet on that intuition, on those inner promptings, on that voice. I spent several days this week at a conference, an integration team meeting for religious science. And Dr. Roger was there with me. And what an absolutely amazing time this is for our movement. Religious science was founded in 1927. And in 1956, is it 56 was a split? 54. The organization split because of just different ways of governing, different thoughts about it. And it split in two. And there was the International Centers for Spiritual Living, which they are now, and the United Centers for Spiritual Living, that's what we are now. And we're bringing the organizations back together. These were the words of Ernest Holmes in one of his last letters he wrote before he died in 1960 to Raymond Charles Barker, expressing his belief that the sides would ultimately settle their differences. I am sure your interest in the permanency of the movement, Holmes wrote, is the same as mine, even though we are on two separate sides of the coin. Of course, I know the whole thing will come back together when the right time comes, because it is the logical thing to do. And I think, in the long run, common sense usually wins. The same is happening in our world, where we're called now, and we're asking a lot of our fathers and the men in our world, to start integrating a new way of living, to bring together both sides of the coin. The intuitive, compassionate, nurturing nature, and the strong, active nature that gets things done, to bring the two together. It's time for each of us to integrate today in this world. So I invite you on this very special Father's Day to take the words of one of the best-known fathers in the world, Dr. Benjamin Spock, that affected more children, many of us here today, to trust yourself. You know more than you think. Trust yourself. Will you just tell that to your neighbor? Trust yourself. You know more than you think. Trust yourself. You know more than you think. I know that right now. The answer is within you. So what I hold for each of us right now is to know that our focus is set, the answer is within us, and we are willing to do the work to claim our abundance, our success, and our creativity right here and right now. Are you with me on this? I bless you all. Thank you for joining me on the journey, and so it is. I thank you all so much. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.